Hi guys, thank you for clicking on this video. Thank you for watching another one. First of all, I want to apologise for the lack of content. I'm sorry it's been a while. I burnt out, to be honest, and then people were telling me people I should talk to, and some of them were people I don't really want to talk to, so I felt that I was thinking about doing it for the wrong reasons, so I decided to stop for a little while. What I've decided to do is produce some shorter content videos, and then save the podcast for people I really want to talk to, people I really want to chat to, and make them something special. So to kick it all off, I want to talk about what I believe at the moment is probably the easiest thing the majority of people can change that will give them better recovery, better sleep, better performance, and mechanisms for sort of dealing with the world a little bit better. That thing is breathing, and it sounds really stupid for some fat hippie strongman coach to be telling everyone that they're breathing wrong, but unfortunately the majority of people are. Whilst you're watching this video, a lot of people will have their tongue at the bottom of their mouth. They'll be breathing through their mouth, sucking in loads of air, and that's not how humans are designed to function. I first sort of stumbled across this when I weighed about 160, 170 kilos. I was snoring a lot, I was struggling to breathe, I was waking up tired with a dry mouth, waking up loads during the night to go to the toilet and stuff like that. And I read a book by McKeown called The Oxygen Advantage, which is absolutely phenomenal. I can't recommend it highly enough. I think it's a fantastic book. It puts really good information across. And this is based around a technique, I think, called Buteyko breathing. I may have said that wrong. The odds are I'm going to say a lot of things wrong. But that sort of changed a lot for me. I found I wasn't snoring anymore. I wasn't sort of having these sleep apnea type episodes. I wasn't getting up in the night. I was waking up earlier but feeling more refreshed. And that just came from taping my mouth at night and, trying to transition towards nasal breathing. I then made the mistake and thought I'd cracked it and I didn't need to tape my mouth anymore. Weight was coming down, so I was sort of breathing and sleeping better anyway. And then I'd say probably from November, I found that I was not sleeping properly. I was waking up with a dry mouth, waking up for drinks, all the same stuff as before. So I decided to look back into, nasal breathing and what breathing can actually do for people. From there, I found Breath by James Nestor, which is a fantastic book. I've got a couple of other books on the way, so I can keep researching and sort of keep putting, a bit more information out when I know more. I've also got a Whoop strap band thing coming, so I'll be able to get some sort of tangible numbers rather than just, it being purely anecdotal. The thing I realised was I was sort of breathing a lot. I was breathing, really heavily quite a lot of the time, trying to suck in huge volumes of air to try and, feel like I was recovering. What I found from, consciously transitioning to nasal breathing is I was breathing less, but feeling like I'd got more out of it. And through, reading these books and watching videos, sort of learning more from Wim Hoff as well, you realise that we need a lot less air than we think, and the carbon dioxide balance needs to shift away from people, think it wants to be. I've done a few cardio sessions where I've been using an app called Pace Breathing. It's the same app I used before bed as well. And I'll read a book and have 10 minutes of pace breathing. And, you struggle to stay awake for the full 10 minutes. Your body really calms down. During the book, Breath, they talk about a study they underwent at Stanford University where they had a week or 10 days of mouth breathing, so they had their noses plugged and their resting heart rates went up, their blood pressure increased, their moods decreased, their rate of recovery went down, basically everything went a bit shit. Then they spent a week or 10 days of only nasal breathing, and you know, the snoring and apnea episodes went down like 5,000%, like an unbelievable amount. There's also studies into using different breathing techniques to help anxiety. It's something I've been using to help with decision making and sort of dealing with that feeling of a bit of panic as well. I recently did my first testing day in a race car at Donington Park. And for people who know the circuit, dropping down the Craner curves, I was, you know, scared. It's a scary bit of track. You're going down a steep hill into a really heavy braking zone. And on a couple of laps, I noticed I was sort of like gasping for air. I was like panting into my helmet and I felt terrible. Next time round, you know, I made the decision to consciously only nasal breathe and try and really calm everything down. And I was immediately quicker through that section. I immediately felt more confident. With the sim racing, it's something I do as well, where, you know, if you're in a relatively high pressure sim race, I'll focus on nasal breathing just to try and stay calm. This also carries over to coaching, competition coaching as well. And it's something I push on almost everyone I speak to. You know, strong men are sort of notorious for having breathing issues and sleeping issues. And what I think we can achieve with this is not necessarily eradicating that problem, but definitely reducing it. I personally use something called myotape, which is made by the Oxygen Advantage. It's the first thing I put in my Cerberus bum bag, and it's just like a rectangle of stretchy tape with a hole in the middle. At first I'd started out using like micropore tape and crossing my lips, and I found that a bit panicky, whereas using this sort of stretchy myotape stuff, you can still breathe through your mouth if you're worried. The first, you know, couple of nights that I'd started mouth taping again, Shiv woke up to check I was still in bed because I was making no noise at all. And at the moment she's sort of waking up with a dry throat, getting up for drinks and stuff like that. And we're sleeping in the same room, we're breathing the same air. So she's going to experiment with mouth taping as well. So it's something that I'll either, you know, we'll make a video together, or I'll put something on Instagram about her journey with it. There's some strong men, some strong women trying it as well. So it's going to be really interesting to see how that affects their performance. But yeah, that's sort of it. That's the first video, shorter content thing I'm going to make. I really recommend it more than I probably recommend anything to like everyone. Anyone who's asked me questions on Instagram Q&As will know that I don't like to give generalized answers or generalized advice, but this is something I believe everyone should address. If you do try mouth taping and transitioning to nasal breathing and paced breathing using the Paced Breath app, I'd be really interested to see how you feel and how you come, you know, out of it after, you know, a few days. For me, the changes have been massive. For people I've spoke to, the changes have been massive, and I genuinely believe this can, you know, help a lot of people. If you look at archaeological digs or indigenous sort of tribal skulls, everyone has perfect teeth, but they may not necessarily have, you know, dental care, and that's purely because, you know, the shape of their mouth has changed, or rather it hasn't changed because they don't mouth breathe. It's not sort of a common trait. It's seen as a problem. The Chinese, you know, you have qi, which is breath, it's energy. You know, in the Bhagavad Gita, they speak about meditation using breath, which, you know, crosses over to yoga. The Om Mani Padme Om, you know, Buddhism, and that takes 5.5 seconds. That's a paced breath. That's sort of what we're aiming for, is a 5.5 second inhale and a 5.5 second exhale with no pause between, sort of getting that fluid transition of breath and breathing a lot more gently. I've also found this can help unblock a nose as well. You know, if you're feeling stuffy, you take a few nice calm breaths, and then on an exhale, pinch the nose until you sort of feel hungry for air, start breathing again, and your nose clears. I will post links to the Oxygen Advantage and James Nestor. Everyone knows Wim Hoff. There's Anders Olsson. There's some people doing some really interesting stuff with breathing, and I implore everyone to do some more research. Have a look into breathing techniques. Look into Tumo breathing. Look into pace breathing. Look into meditative breathing and anything like that. But yeah, that's it. That's the first short video, and hopefully people enjoy it. But if not, I know YouTube, and I know the comments will let me know. As always, thank you for watching. Thank you for listening. Please like, comment, subscribe, share, do all the YouTubey stuff. And yeah, that's it. Thank you, guys.